Greetings, peeps. So, I'm gonna try and make this fairly short, but on point, and kind of give a little backstory here. So, my father is the reason that I do pretty much everything I do musically, instrument-wise, everything. My father is and kind of has been a drummer for the past 30 years, and he was the one that got me into hard rock heavy metal. I think I was probably about 7 or 8, maybe, somewhere around that time frame, whenever he showed me Judas Priest's live video of them in Texas, Fuel for Life, I believe it was. He showed me the Helion and Electric Eye, and from that moment on, I was into metal, and from the moment that I saw Van Halen's Live Without a Net, I was into guitar. So, and kind of the rest is history. Well, around that time, late 90s, maybe early 2000s, but pretty sure late 90s, my brother and I were kind of going through the garage at the time, just kid stuff. We had come across a guitar case. We looked inside, actually found a guitar inside, and I'd been really wanting to get into guitars, so I'm like, cool, this is amazing. However, it was so old and kind of starting to deteriorate that everything kind of started breaking on it, and couldn't really do much of anything with it. Also, at the age that my brother and I were, we may or may not have been into the stage of undoing things and redoing them, kind of learning how things work, and we may or may not have done the same thing to, say, guitar. Needless to say, my father then saw what we did. He wasn't too happy with it. So, fast forward several years later, we found it again, and couldn't believe we had found it again, and it was kind of still in the same condition we had left it. Not exactly the condition we wanted it. However, I completely forgot about it for the longest time, and until recently, about a month or two ago, I found it again. And now that I am so into guitars, so into fixing them up, potentially repairing them, setups, I love guitars. So, the holiday season is coming up. I thought, what better way to give back than to fix up my father's 1966 Harmony Bobcat guitar. I didn't really think that I wasn't entirely sure that it'd be possible. Truth be told, I don't know how well it's going to go, but I plan to fix it up, make it playable, and give it to him this holiday season, which I think he'll really enjoy because, to be honest, I don't really think he's seen this thing in about 25 years. Something like that. Truth be told, I'm not even sure that he quite well remembers it, but yeah, I'm gonna try and fix it up to a playable condition. The one thing I haven't really understood and still don't understand to this day, and I'm gonna have to ask him whenever I give it back to him eventually at the end of this year. He's been a drummer for pretty much all his life. I'm not sure actually if this is his, and if it is his, I kind of want to see if he get the story from him if he remembers on why he has it. I already have ordered most of the parts. What I'm going to be doing is, obviously the bridge is missing, so I'm going to be getting, I've got a bridge coming in that I'm going to be putting onto it, which on that note, I can kind of see where it looks like the bridge was maybe, but not certain. I really don't know the scale length of this guy. I'm going to have to look it up, or if one of you guys know, feel free to comment down below what scale length this is so I know what to work with, or I can put it back properly. I'm going to leave the tailpiece alone. I've seen some, whenever I was looking for the bridge, I've seen some combo with the tailpiece, and it looks like there is, because this is a vibrato, can't really push it down. I'm not going to try to because of how old it is. It looks like there was some kind of heavy spring mechanism that went inside the body. I'd rather not take this apart and try and repair it or look at it, just because I don't want to have to do any more repairs or fixes that more than I need to, or more than I want to do. Anyways, I'm going to be replacing the bridge piece. I have to replace the tuners. Tuners are one thing I kind of want to leave alone, wish I could leave alone, but it's missing one, and these things are just, they turn so easily, and even if that thing was there, this thing likely would not hold tune at all. Actually, I kind of highly doubt they work, to be honest. But I did get some Kluson 6-in-line tuners, which I've read up, and they seem to fit well and adapt to it nicely. I ordered a Graphtec nut. I tried to, based on what little measurements I could take of this guy, without having the original piece, the original original nut. I can't get precise, but I'm kind of gonna fit it to the best of my knowledge of how I can do so. I'm gonna be getting some more screws because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws missing on this guy. I mean, the corners are broken off, so I don't really think I could do anything with that, but I could replace the 2 at the bottom here, and I'm going to do the toothpick method on this, and on, I think, just this one, just so it can actually have a tight fit on it. The wiring actually looks a lot better than I expected it to. I'll show you in a bit, but this thing still actually works. Like, the bridge pickup is still working. The neck pickup, dead from what I can tell, or seems to be dead, or maybe one of the wires is messed up, but my dad's a hard rock metal player. He primarily is going to use the bridge if he plays it. I just want him to have the ability to if he wants to. Again, because we're just going with the bridge, I'm not going to worry about this guy. I am going to replace the input jack. It's sticky as hell. Like, I have to actually kind of hold the pickguard and pull it out because it's just, the input jack's all kinds of messed up. So from my other fixes that I've done on my other guitars, I have a spare input jack. I can fix that, no problem. The biggest ordeal is going to be the neck. That was the thing I kind of took apart, and no clue where the screws are for the neck. I forgot that I used nails back in the day to just keep them connected, which obviously that did not work. So what I'm gonna have to do is put a dowel into the holes on the neck and pretty much re-drill the holes for the neck. The body should be okay. More than likely I'll have to dowel those two and re-drill them. I'm gonna try and make sure this guy is flush, I think, because this thing didn't have a screw, or I probably lost it back in the day. I'm gonna just kind of continue to drill this out to actually fit whatever screw this is onto, or shit, that might actually be the original screw. I don't know. Anyways, I want to make sure that's actually flush and can hold on there. I'm pretty stoked to be doing this to kind of give back some memories to my father and kind of give back to him for kind of setting out one of my biggest hobbies. Actually, let me go ahead and show you the bridge pickup. And this. I do have an amp sync going. You'll be able to hear this as well, or you should be able to. But check this out. Should work. It's actually still working. I'm stoked about that because I honestly wasn't sure if these pickups would still work at all. So there's some hope for this guy. I'm going to put some D'Addario 9s on this, since as old as this guitar is, there's no reason to put 10s. I mean, even my father, I doubt he's gonna be playing this much at all. If he really does, there's no need to put 10s on this and potentially harm the integrity of what's left of this guy. It's gonna be a fun little project for this guy. I'm pretty stoked on doing. I'm not going to worry about the frets because they actually look really good for what they are, I think. Actually, not entirely. It looks like they've been well, they might have actually had some work on them done back in the day. Either that or these are just some really small, really thin and kind of small frets. Either way, I'm to be honest, I don't know much about the history of the Harmony guitars. I really don't. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the frets alone, even the edges of them. I'm not gonna worry about dressing the frets. Actually, I don't have the tools to really do it that well, or to do a good fret dressing job. And truth be told, I don't think it's gonna be played that much to really matter. So we're gonna leave that alone. But this is going to be one hell of a project that I'm going to hopefully be extremely proud of. So on that note, I hope you guys join along for the ride on getting this guy fixed up a little bit. I will see you then. Take care.